Welcome. Today, we're not exactly doing a deep dive in the usual sense. Instead, we're going to share some stories with you.
That's right. We've gathered some true accounts, shared online, about some really unsettling encounters.
And the common thread. They all happened on dark, rainy nights. Think unexpected visitors, strange noises, the kind of things that make your skin crawl.
Moments where people felt safe, maybe at home or work, and then suddenly realized they weren't alone.
So we're going to tell these stories, focus on those chilling details, and maybe touch on why these kinds of intrusions feel so disturbing.
It really gets at that feeling of vulnerability, doesn't it, when your safe space is breached?
Exactly. Okay, let's get into the first story. This one happened about 4 years ago, 2019. Picture this. A house way out in rural Wyoming, pretty isolated. The person telling the story picked it for the land, the quiet.
Right, remote. Adds to the tension immediately.
Definitely. And it was during a really rainy spring month. So one evening, maybe 6 or 7, heavy rain coming down, there's a knock on the door.
Unexpected out there, I bet.
Totally. It's this guy, maybe late 20s, stranger. Says he was camping nearby, got into some trouble, needs shelter from the storm.
That's a tough spot. You want to help, but a stranger. In the middle of nowhere.
Precisely. The narrator felt that too. They offered him a phone, said he could call someone for a ride to town, but they were firm. Sorry, you can't come inside. Too risky.
Sensible? What did he do?
He refused the phone call, didn't argue much, just turned around and walked off. Disappeared into the woods surrounding the house. In the rain.
Okay. Weird, but maybe that's the end of it.
You'd hope so. But hours go by, it's late now, properly dark. The narrator happens to look out a back window and sees, an orange glow. Way out in the trees.
A fire. In the rain.
A small campfire, somehow still going.
Cook.
And next to it, the outline of a figure. A man, holding something longish. Can't tell if he's looking towards the house or not.
Oh, that's chilling. He never left. He's just out there, watching.
That's the terrifying thought, isn't it? So the narrator calls the police straight away, but they know, being so remote, it'll take the cops at least an hour to get there. An hour!
An hour is a lifetime in that situation.
Right. They hang up, heart pounding probably, check the window again, the fire's still burning.
Yeah.
But the figure's gone.
Gone where?
And then they hear it. Footsteps. On the porch? No, getting closer to the house.
Oh, no.
They move quick, look through another window, and they see him walk past. The guy from earlier. And now it's clear what he was holding by the fire. It was a hunting rifle.
A rifle. Okay, this is bad. Really bad.
He goes straight to the front door, starts banging, first with his fists, like demanding to be let in. Then he stops for a second.
And then?
Then this horrible sound. Thump, thump. He's hitting the door with the stock of the rifle. Hard, almost breaking the wood panel. He's trying to force his way in.
Gosh, alone in the house, help an hour away. What do you even do?
The narrator had a handgun for self-defense. They grabbed it, took cover near the door, didn't want to shoot him, but knew they had to stop him getting in. Fired one shot near the edge of the doorframe, a warning shot, basically.
Just to scare him off. Did it work?
Complete silence after the shot. For about 5 minutes, which must have felt like forever. Then, carefully, they look through the peephole. Porch is empty.
He ran.
Looks like it. They risked opening the door slightly, saw clear footprints in the mud leading away from the house, back towards the woods. He definitely took off.
Thank goodness. Did the police find anything when they arrived?
They did. They searched near where the campfire was, and they found something really disturbing. A duffel bag, partially buried, looked like it had been dug up recently.
What was in it?
The police didn't give specifics in the account, but their conclusion was chilling. They believed it was probably a burglary kit, or maybe even worse, like a murder kit, planted there beforehand.
Planted. So this wasn't random. He might have chosen that house, planned this.
That's the implication. It wasn't just some guy caught in the rain needing help. It was potentially planned, targeted. And the creepiest part, they never found him, never identified him, no idea what his real motive was.
And the narrator still lives there.
Still lives there, always wondering. Why their house? Was it really planned? Will he ever come back? Imagine carrying that fear.
Wow. That combination of isolation, the persistence of the intruder, and that buried kit, that's deeply unsettling. Leaves so many unanswered questions.
It really does. Okay, the second story is a bit different. We move from the countryside to the city. A small one-bedroom house, maybe in a cheaper area. It's Friday night, pouring rain again. The narrator's home alone, gaming online.
Another rainy night, another seemingly safe space.
Yep. So while gaming, they hear this thump from upstairs. First thought, with the rain so heavy, maybe a roof leak.
Makes sense.
They go upstairs, check the bedroom, the small bathroom up there. No leaks, nothing wet. Bit strange, but they go back downstairs, back to the game.
Maybe just the house settling or the wind.
That's what they figured. But then later, maybe around 2 a.m., friends have logged off, it's quiet. Another thump. Upstairs again. This one sounded different. More muffled, almost like it was on the roof.
Okay, that's weirder. 2 sounds.
So they go up again, search everywhere. Still nothing seems out of place. No water, no obvious damage. But the sound is bugging them now.
Can't just ignore it at that point.
Exactly. They get so determined to figure it out, they actually go outside.
Yeah.
Into the heavy rain to look at the roof, the side of the house.
In the middle of the night, in the rain. They must have been really creeped out.
I think so. They see this big tree branch near the house. Wonder if maybe that's hitting it, but it looks a bit too far away. But while looking up, they spot something else. A window, a small one. Higher up than the main bedroom window, partly hidden by that tree branch. An attic window.
An attic?
Yeah, and the narrator had no idea the house even had an attic. The roof wasn't stiff, and there was no obvious hatch inside they'd ever seen.
A hidden room in your own house? That you didn't know about. That's uncanny.
Right. So now they have to find the entrance. They go back inside, soaking wet, start searching closets, ceilings, and they find it. In the bedroom closet, a small square blended into the ceiling tiles, almost invisible.
Wow. Hidden away.
They manage to get it open, pull down this old, rusty folding ladder, and instantly, this awful smell hits them, like something rotten.
Oh, bad sign.
And just as they're standing there, about to maybe climb up, focused on the attic opening, they hear another thump. But this time, it sounds like it came from downstairs.
Wait, downstairs. While they're upstairs, about to enter a creepy attic. The timing.
Super unnerving.
Yeah.
But they're committed now. They cautiously start climbing the ladder into the attic space. It's tiny, really low ceiling, maybe only 2 feet high. The narrator described it like a wide, dark tunnel.
Claustrophobic.
Totally. They have to crawl. They head towards the far end, towards that little window they saw from outside. And as their eyes adjust to the darkness, they see it.
Don't tell me.
At the end of the tunnel-like space, near the window, a figure ducked down on all fours and looking straight at me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
On all fours, staring in your hidden attic.
Exactly. The source adds, the eyes look like a mix of fear and anger. Just imagine that sight.
I can't. That's pure nightmare fuel.
The narrator just panicked, scrambled back, nearly fell off the ladder trying to get down, didn't even stop, just ran straight out of the house, into the rain again, grabbed their phone, called 911 from the driveway.
I don't blame him one bit. What happened? Did the police find him?
Yeah, police arrived quickly. They went in, checked the attic, and sure enough, they found the man still up there, detained him.
Who was he? Why was he there?
Turned out he was a homeless person. Apparently he'd climbed that tree, got in through the small hidden window, and had been living in the attic, secretly, for at least a week. Maybe longer.
Living above them for a week, undetected.
Completely. That's the most violating part, isn't it? Not just breaking in, but living there, hidden in your own home.
It's beyond intrusion. It's cohabitation without consent. Unbelievable.
The narrator moved out very soon after, as you can imagine. And now they always check for attics in any new place. But that image, the man on his hands and knees in the dark, staring, they said they'll never forget it. Think about that discovery, realizing someone shared your space, breathed your air for days, totally hidden.
That story, it's less about immediate threat and more about this profound sense of violation. The hiddenness, the duration, it's uniquely disturbing.
Absolutely. Okay, one more story. This one shifts location again to a workplace, a small retail store. The narrator's working alone, the overnight manager. Weekday night, storms blowing up outside, rain, wind hitting the building.
Another isolated situation, even if it's a public place. Overnight shifts can feel very solitary, and the storm adds that layer again.
For sure. So early in the shift, they hear a noise, a thud, from the back near the warehouse or delivery area. First thought, maybe a delivery driver trying the back door, even though none were scheduled. They go check the heavy metal door. Nothing there. No truck, just wind and rain howling. So they figure, okay, maybe just the building groaning in the wind, or thunder maybe.
Easy to rationalize sounds in a big empty building during a storm.
Right. They dismiss it, get back to work. Later, they take a lunch break. Walking back from the break room through the store aisles, they notice how quiet it is. Eerily quiet, apart from the rain drumming on the roof. Something feels off.
Gut feeling. Intuition kicking in.
And then they see it. They get to the end of an aisle near where they left their stocking cart or whatever. And on the floor, wet, shoe prints.
Oh no, not theirs.
Definitely not. They follow the line of prints with their eyes and realize they go all over the store, back and forth between aisle. That instant sickening realization, someone else is in here. Right now.
While they were on break. That's terrifying. You're locked in with them.
Panic mode. They don't hesitate, just turn and run straight back to the manager's office, slam the door, lock it, call the police immediately.
Smart move. But now they're stuck in the office, can't see the store, just hearing the rain, waiting, knowing someone's out there.
Exactly. The minutes must have crawled by. Finally, the 911 operator tells them police are outside. Relief. They unlock the office door to let the cops in, step out, and freeze.
What now?
Right there on the floor leading up to the locked office door. Another set of wet shoe prints, alongside their own prints from when they ran in.
Wait, he followed them right to the office door while they were inside on the phone.
Seems like it. Just standing right outside. The police searched, but the store was empty by then. The guy was gone, but they had security cameras.
The tapes. What did they show?
It was chilling. Showed a man, dark jacket, slipping in through a side emergency door that had accidentally been left unlocked earlier. That must have been the thud they heard.
So the first instinct was right.
Yep. And the footage showed he saw the manager pretty early on, but instead of leaving or confronting them, he hid, waited until the manager went on break.
Okay, that's calculated. He knew they were there.
Then, while the manager was in the break room, the guy just wandered around the store, looked at shelves, walked up and down aisles, kind of aimlessly. But the weird part, he didn't steal or break anything.
Nothing, just walked around. What was the point?
Exactly the question. But here's the most terrifying part from the tape. When the manager ran back and locked themselves in the office, the camera caught the intruder following them. He walked right up to the office door. And he just stood there for several minutes, staring at the doorknob.
Staring at the doorknob?
Yeah.
Like he was waiting, thinking about going in.
The narrator's description was like he was preparing for me to come out, just standing there silently, knowing they were right on the other side of the thin door.
That is horrifying, the psychological aspect of that.
Okay.
Waiting, knowing you're trapped, and he knows it too.
After several minutes of just standing there, staring at the door, he apparently decided against whatever he was considering, turned around, walked calmly out the way he came in, and disappeared into the storm.
And they never caught him.
Never seen again, never identified, no idea who he was, why he came in, why he didn't steal anything, and what he intended to do while standing outside that office door. Just gone, leaving the narrator with what they called an eerie uncertainty.
So, looking at all three, the isolated house attack, the hidden attic dweller, the silent store intruder, they're all different scenarios, but they hit that same nerve, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Rainy nights seem to heighten the isolation, whether you're truly alone or just feel that way. And it's always an intrusion into a place you think of as safe home. Even work when you're the only one there. It creates this profound sense of being violated, vulnerable.
And it's not just that someone got in. It's the way they got in or what they did or didn't do that makes it stick with you. Like you said, the potential planning in the first story with the kit.
Right, or the sheer creepiness of someone living secretly in your attic in the second. That's almost worse than a quick break-in a way.
And the third one. The lack of obvious motive is what's so disturbing. Why wander the store? Why wait outside the door? If he wasn't there to steal, what was he there for? That unknown is terrifying.
It really is. It taps into those basic fears we have about safety, about personal space, about the unpredictable nature of other people. The details make them feel so real, you know? The footprints, the figure by the fire, the man staring at the doorknob.
These details elevate it beyond just a crime statistic. The buried kit implies premeditation. Hiding in an attic suggests a disturbing level of concealment and long-term violation. And waiting outside the door, that feels targeted, personal. Even if the ultimate goal is unclear. It's about the focus on the person.
And when you don't know the why, it's hard to ever feel completely safe again, isn't it? You start checking attics, double-checking locks, wondering about that noise outside. It changes how you feel in your own space.
That uncertainty lingers. If someone breaks in to rob you, it's awful. But there's a logic, however wrong. When the motive is unclear or seems bizarre, it leaves you questioning everything.
These stories are definitely unsettling reminders that sometimes safety is more fragile than we think. Especially when the ordinary becomes unexpectedly terrifying on a dark, stormy night.
They really show how vulnerable we can feel when those boundaries are crossed in strange ways.
Thank you for listening as we shared these accounts today. We hope they gave you something to think about, even if it is a bit chilling.
And perhaps it leaves us all with this thought. When the places we feel most secure are breached in such unpredictable, sometimes inexplicable ways. What does that really mean? It makes you wonder what else might be hidden, just out of sight, waiting for the rain to start.
Before you go, if you found these stories compelling, please support the channel Horror Docs. Go ahead and hit like, share this with someone who enjoys unsettling tales, and subscribe so you don't miss future stories. We appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in.